Welcome, everybody, to a behind the scenes episode of Shadow City Mysteries House of Skye. In a couple weeks, we'll be premiering our Shadow City Mysteries actual play, House of Skye. But now we want to introduce you to some of the players and their characters. So let me introduce you to Matthew Bell. Matthew Bell, welcome, and tell us, who are you and what do you do?
Hey, I'm Matthew Isabel. I'm an actor here in Atlanta. Also a software engineer by day. I'm playing Farank Tern.
Awesome. And if people wanted to find you on the interwebs, where could they find Matthew Isabel?
I have an Instagram page. It's fairly new. I just switched over to have kind of a public-facing one, but it's at Matthew Isabel on Instagram.
Awesome. And what would you say what's your history with tabletop RPGs and role playing games?
So I started playing tabletop games when I was in high school, like many people my age. Played a number of different kind of versions of Dungeons and Dragons back in the day. Had a kind of long running game when I was in college with some friends of mine, and took a break from it for a while, and then tried to dip my toes in a couple other different systems, including playing a game with you where we played City of Mists, which was a lot of fun. And so I was excited to join the Shadow City Mysteries House of Skye play, so that I could play with you again, Christopher.
Oh, I appreciate that. Do you remember your first role playing game character?
I don't. I think it was a fighter. I tend to I don't know. But the one that I can remember from my very long
Okay.
campaign was a dwarf wizard, actually. He was a crafter. He wore plate mail, and he had a very high constitution, so he could concentrate casting.
Oh, okay.
And was kind of artificer for the party. So
Nice.
plate
Nice.
mail and fireballs. That was kind of his go-to.
What excites you about role playing in general?
I'm an actor, so I enjoy a lot of the role playing side of it. I like putting on characters and getting to know what their motivations are, kind of explore a little bit of things that you wouldn't necessarily get to do in your daily life, where you can be exposed to situations or scenarios where you don't necessarily know how you might react if you're faced with sometimes extremely challenging scenarios, and so you have the opportunity to explore those things in a safe and exciting way.
All right. That's cool. And what drew you to this actual play project besides me?
I mean, you are the big draw, right? It's cool. And actually, I'm friends with Katie Downey, who I know does a lot of tabletop streaming, and I've seen several of her things. So I was excited to get an opportunity to play with her. And a lot of the people are new, so getting to role play with new people, you don't know a lot about them, and so you kind of come in with a fresh face and fresh ideas, and not sure how things are going to react. So and the noir setting is kind of fresh and exciting too. I'm gonna have to refrain from diving into too many tropes here, but I might be tempted on occasion to kind of get my guy noir on.
How do you feel it's going to be different than other genres you played?
I think and this is just a guess because I have no idea what to expect, but I think we'll be less kind of like, and here's the fight for this week, and more about, here is something that's going on, and I'm guessing probably multiple different layers of intrigue that are going to happen. And so there's going to be the immediate threat, but then I think there's probably going to be like 4 or 5 additional why questions that are really going to kind of tick away at your brain, and you'll be laying there in bed later and you're like, I bet. Oh, right. So I'm really excited about those kinds of things where it's like, okay, all right, I see what's going on here, and then I'm probably completely wrong,
Or not? Who knows? There's
well,
multiple layers, right? It's like an onion. Right?
exactly.
Do you see yourself in your character, or are they very different from you? So from what you've concepted so far.
I have accepted at this point in my life that most of my characters have a decent, healthy chunk of myself in them, right? Especially if I'm going to play a long-term campaign, it's hard to play something that's completely antithetical to yourself.
Sure.
And so, Farank is young. He is just out of law school, trying to prove himself, still full of that like energy of going to change the world, but not so jaded yet where he, accepts things as what they are. So I can kind of recall those days, and at my office, we've hired a lot of fresh out of college people recently, and so
they're your inspiration.
They are a little bit, actually. It's
Okay.
kind of fun because
All right.
I see them trying to work hard and do good, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I totally I feel that vibe again, where it's you're not sure exactly what you're doing, but doggone it, I'm gonna do it right.
Excellent. And what made you pick the class you picked for Farank?
So Franck is a face. So a face is, I feel like he's a little bit of a bard, but without the performance. I like to talk a lot. I'll admit it. I'm a bit of an extrovert, so I think for me, being able to go in and have not only the ability to talk and role play with other people, but also have the toolkit in the bag to actually influence and make what I want to have happen. So it's kind of interesting though, because I think I'm playing the only character that is and I don't know if this is a spoiler, but is not directly related. So
No, not
kind
the
of more
only.
of
Not the only.
not the only. Okay.
No.
So
There's one other.
Okay. So being kind of a hired help, as it were, or a little bit of an outsider who comes from another family who, has a family lineage, but he's a little bit, he's a third son of a third son. So, you have one is an heir, one is a spare, and the rest can go to the church, or the Navy, as it were, in this case. That's kind of
so what about the faction? You chose the face as your class, but and just as we don't have races in Shadow City Mystery, so factions are basically how you distinguish yourself in general. So what was the faction you went with?
I went back and forth a lot on this one because some of the Quarter Rat stuff was really interesting, and some of the Consortium of Brass stuff was really interesting as well. But I went with Society of Ravens because I felt like there's room in that Society of Ravens where it's really easy to play to the stereotypical aristocrat kind of thing, but The Greatest Showman is one of my kids' favorite movies, and
It's what
Zac
mine
Efron
too.
in there is like the he's high society, but he consorts with everybody. So it's kind of a little bit of a pull there on Farank is Zac Efron in that show. So I liked some of the concepts of the Society of Ravens. Just it's a society and it's been around for a long time. And if you're in, you're in, and if you're not, maybe you could get in, but probably not. So it seemed like the kind of thing where you want to kind of start there. Yeah. Some of the things around sending messages and stuff was interesting as well, and I think that come into play. I'm looking forward to.
It should for sure.
Of sending.
Yeah, I mean, just for those who aren't familiar with all the factions and everything, the Society of Ravens is a conspiracy of the city's wealthy. They're working together to hold on to their power against the more populous factions. So it's one of the smaller factions, but what they lack in membership, they make up in spending power. So they also, like many such societies, have their own secret rites and techniques that have more potency than anyone can guess. So one of the features of being a member of the Society of Ravens, as Matt kind of alluded to, is they can send messages around the city via ravens. So they have access to communication amongst their faction to get support when needed.
Yeah, but we have to fold it up into a little origami bird.
Little thing. That's right. Well, I don't know about origami bird, but yeah, a little note that they could take away for them. Yeah. And bribe them, of course.
Right.
I don't think that's actually part of it, but so going back into your character a little bit more. If Farank had a signature drink, what would it be?
I think
being young and
he's young and he's making his way. I feel like he would probably go with a gin and tonic. I think something light, something refreshing. Something
they could just pound.
Yeah, just kind of have one and keep moving. And you get the quinine in there as well, just in case you need to deal with malaria.
It's a clean city, but it's still a city, and it's still a city in a fictitious noir kind of world that is constantly at war. So yeah,
right.
It's definitely disease is still a thing. What about Farank? Are they more of a planner or an improviser?
think he tends to be, I mean, a little bit of a mix of both. But if you had to pick one, it would probably be more improviser than planner. Um, something I kind of wanted to explore with him. It's something I enjoy doing in all these kind of world systems. Is what is some of the little more mundane aspects of the world, and so I think he's going to be a fan of polo and playing polo, and so there's a little bit of sports in there where you have to do some amount of planning. You got to know what you're going to do and whatnot. But once you're on the field and you're playing the game, then it's always a little bit of improvisation, and so I think he kind of has that same method to his existence, which is kind of have a good idea of what's going down, but then once it starts happening, you got to be able to roll with it and improvise as you go.
All right. And what about? Do you think you're now? I mean, again, you're just starting out, but what do you think? Do you have a theme song for Farank? What's going to be driving them at least in the beginning until like their spirits are being broken?
Right.
And,
I saw this question and I was like, oh, I don't know. It is. Did I want to pick something from the 30s or did some Louis Armstrong or something like that? But I was like, you know what? I feel like his theme song is the theme to fame. I think he wants to live forever. He wants to be famous. He wants to make his way in the world, and a good hype up, pump up song, at least until things don't go his way. But right now, things are looking up for old Farank Tern.
Old Farank Tern. All right. Well, before we step into a typical day of Farank Tern, there's a couple things I think for those watching should know about Shadow City Mysteries. So. Though while we are in color, except for Matt's background, the world of Shadow City Mysteries is one where it was centuries ago when color left the world. And the Church of Astra teaches that the death of color was the final curse of the goddess of darkness upon her defeat by the gods of light. It lingers as a sign to be ever vigilant against the lure of evil. What else could be lost if the gods must intervene again on such a grand scale? So people of science claim it's something strange about how light refracts in the atmosphere. And one day they hope that rocketry and photography improve to the point that they can confirm whether color can still be seen from space. Neither can truly explain why some things, the high-tech and the mystical, still show in color. The day-to-day life of citizens of the world is one of monochromatic bliss, with nearly everything being monotone. Pops of color from turnstone-infused objects draw every eye in appreciation, while color, where no tech should be, breeds fear of arcane threats, hidden beneath the popular veneer of science. And so, clockwork is a key technology piece within the world of Shadow City Mysteries. This came about not long after the War of the Gods came, the discovery of Soligium, commonly just called turnstone. This semi-hard rock is permanently oriented to face the sun, revolving once every 24 hours and grinding itself into smooth sand rather than allow any force to stop its turning. Initially, it was something of a curiosity. Shards of it could be used to unerringly tell time, and a big enough slice could power a mill. But under any significant load, such a gearing to transform a 24-hour rotation into a faster one, the rock tends to pulverize itself against the metal. The Industrial Revolution came when scientists figured out two key tricks: blending and infusing the turnstone dust into harder metals, and a semi-mystical trick of using mirrored plates to allow it to rotate along any reference point. Power was now reliable, portable, and endless. Turnstone's only limitation is the science of metallurgy. Increasingly small, intricate, and powerful devices put strain on the gearing. That requires increasingly durable metals to house the Soligium. Power never runs out, but gears can strip out. Every year, the world's scientists and engineers make breakthroughs in what clockwork is capable of. Other sciences, such as chemistry, have lagged from what might be expected in an early modern society due to the sheer ease of making discoveries of new applications for clockwork. Society has automobiles, electricity, clockwork-wound weapons, and even intricate cybernetic prosthetics and automatons made of countless tiny gears. One of the properties of turnstone that scientists can use, but not explain, is that it responds to human will. A prosthetic arm or leg powered by Soligium works as well or better than the original, with no clear reason for the interface with human nerves. The real problem with turnstone is that it's needed for everything. Having long exhausted its own reserves of the mineral, the globe's sole superpower, Vesipon, embarks on wars across the planet with increasingly thin pretexts in order to open up new mines for the material. And so it is, Shadow City, also known as Soretta, Shadow City, also known as Soretta, is not the capital of Esapon, but it is where the players will be in House of Skye. And so, tell us, Matthew, what is a typical day in the life of Farank Tern in Soretta, aka Shadow City?
Well, it's a great intro. So in Soretta, Farank, he actually has a pretty decent lifestyle. So he has a nice apartment in a nice area of town. And so he'll get up, he'll get a paper on a daily basis. Some days he likes to go down and have a little cup of coffee on one of the corner bodegos. And then he will typically have a car service that'll take him into his work. He's working for a law firm, so he just got hired. He has his passion, and this is a little bit less of a day-to-day thing, but he really wants to become a courthouse lawyer. He wants to be in front of the jury and the judge and argue cases, but they do not let junior lawyers do those kinds of things. So he has to work his way up through the case files that are given to him by Rockin' Winters, I think.
Yeah, Rockin' Winters Advocates. Yes,
right, Rockin' Winters Advocates. So, so he gets to the office, and well, that's probably not the first cup of coffee he's going to get for the day. Probably going to get several cups of coffee, but not necessarily for himself. So he'll probably do those things that a junior lawyer would do at a prestigious law firm, or at least a larger law firm.
Rockin' Winters is well known. I mean, they've had better days, like a lot of different firms, but they do well, and their names are well known, and they are also members of the Society of Ravens, at least the senior partners, at least. Yeah. So
that's the best way to get a job, is friends on the inside.
Exactly. So during your typical day, while you're out and about, the senior partner, Rock, actually approaches you and says, "Mr. Tern, you will be stepping out this afternoon. A prospective client is waiting at the cafe in the square. They asked for someone with Navy service, said it mattered to them. That makes you the natural choice." And he slides a slim file across the desk. It's actually almost empty. They would not give us much in writing, said they preferred to speak face to face. The note says private concerns of inheritance. Sounds like an easy coin, but discretion is the key. If this retainer lands, it will see us through the lean months. He taps the file with two fingers and says, "The name is Blackwell? Do not press too hard. Just listen. Bring back what you can, and we will decide the next steps. And Frank, mind your manners. Some clients are not buying service. They're buying the illusion that we still matter."
Should I expect a senior partner to come along with me?
No, they specifically asked for, well, not you specifically, but someone with Navy service, and actually nobody else here has it. So not only are you the best man for it, you're the only one for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will represent Rockin' Winters dutifully and make sure that we represent Blackwell as best as we can, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Blackwell. It's
okay.
Yeah. Literally, you open up the folder. It literally just says Mr. and Mrs. Blackwell and regards the services of inheritance. So, and then the address for the and the time.
I absolutely took a class on inheritance planning at school. So you've picked the right guy for the job, sir. I know you had a lot of no choices, but the one you picked is the right one for this job, sir.
Well, appreciate it. Don't let us down. You're new. Your turn. Obviously, we're looking for you to, do your best. And I mean, you've done well so far. So, you've lived up to the Tern name, that's for sure. So
Yes, sir.
and he turns and goes about his business, and then leaves you to contemplate time and getting over to the there. The actually, this might be the better one to do. Here we go. So, well, nobody needs to see you there. But so this is the city itself, and your office is located in Midtown, and the cafe that they mentioned is not too far away from the office itself.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. I fired up. I have a first real job all by myself. Don't screw this up. Don't screw this up.
All right. And then you hear from this is, don't screw this up, Tern.
Dang it. Okay. I should probably review inheritance law or something. Or, oh my gosh, when am I supposed to be there?
Not too much farther along. Like it's like like probably by the time you get you wave down a car service, and
okay.
then
no time to study. Let's just we'll just do it as we go. You got this, Farank. Let's go. So haul down a cab.
Yeah, your car. Oh, I mean, I assume you have a regular car service. You're able to call. It's available, but unexpected that you would need it so early in the day, and not your typical late hours that you would have to put in. So picks you up and goes, Mr. Tern.
To this address, please.
It's a cafe. Very nice cafe. And then he comments and takes you to the cafe on the square.
Thanks so much. I don't know how long this will last, so maybe you can just wait for me, or if you have other things to do, I totally understand that as well.
No, I'll leave. I'll be nearby for you, sir.
Okay, all right. And he sits there in the car for a little longer.
You see the cafe on the square. It's recently just been raining, but there are people sitting outside. There's covered seating with umbrellas and everything like that. I don't know if you want to observe the area and who might be there. Do you want to just go to there's a maitre d' kind of waiting outside the cafe.
Do I mean, I assume I'm wearing my work clothes, and that's appropriate enough for this place. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's a nice cafe, but it's not like, I mean, tourists to Soretta would go here. Regular folks would be here. Again, they're not going to stop you at it's not a VIP club or any. There are no VIP. Well, that's not true. There probably are a few VIP cafes, but they're not in this part of it. This is Midtown, so this is like a workers area kind of thing.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Wish me luck.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Sits a little bit longer in the car.
You've got this, sir.
Right. I have to get out of the car. Okay, here we go. And he gets out of the car. And he goes up to the maitre d'.
There's just the cafe on the square hums with conversation. Steam hisses from brass coffee machines. Tables clink with porcelain cups. Under the awning, in the corner, is a couple, and then there's rain still dripping from the lampposts nearby. The maitre d' says, "Yes, sir. Can I help you?"
Hi. Yes. I am Farank Tern of Rock and Winters, Esquire. You don't care. You don't care. He doesn't care. I'm here to see Mr. and Mrs. Blackwell.
Yes, they've been expecting you.
Oh.
And they go, "Please follow me," and they take you towards the corner where you see a finely dressed, because that only makes sense. You see a pale figure draped in fine kimono-styled silks paired with perfectly pressed trousers. And they sit with a delicate parasol next to them. And they have a tiny, stylish hat perched just atop their head. They have watchful eyes that take in every detail without a word. And they have a crest that's set neatly on their lapel. Behind them is a large man, a large and tall man with a sleeveless button-up shirt and suspenders. It stands before you. His frame is made broader by the unnatural size of his arms. A bowler hat shades part of his face, though the glint of a mechanical jaw work is unmistakable when he speaks or moves. His clothes are pressed and spotless, his shoes polished to a mere shine. He carries himself with the posture of a soldier and the silence of a watchman.
Can I take a glance at the lapel pin a little closer?
Sure. Go ahead and roll history.
All right, that is a 23.
No, well, excellent. You recognize the lapel pin to be not only a member of the Society of Ravens. However, this is not a pin to distinguish them as Society of Ravens. This distinguishes that their house that they are members of are part of the Society of Ravens, and that is distinctly the House of Skye, an older family. Said to not have been out of disfavor, but to be out of sorts for the last few years, and not as prominent as they once were. You've heard rumors of the last head of the family dying recently, but you hadn't heard anything about the family returning or making any movements within the city. So to see the symbol of the House of Skye is unusual, as you were under the impression that everyone within that family had is currently deceased or not within Soretta at this time.
That is quite interesting. I will approach the table then and introduce myself.
Mr. Tern. So professional, so punctual. Yes, Blackwell is the name your firm was given, a convenient fiction. Please, sit. The truth is more complicated and far more interesting. And they gestured to the chair across from them.
I will have a seat.
You were told to expect inheritance papers. The truth is, you are meeting the inheritance itself. Eston Skye has returned, and with him comes unfinished business that no ordinary advocate can manage. And then you hear from behind her, you are summoned to Skye Estate at week's end, and you will not be alone.
I see. So this is intended to be a longer term engagement.
Yes, much longer.
Very well. I will notify the senior partners. Is there anything that I can do to prepare? Is there documents that I can review to make sure that everything is in legal order, or what can I do to assist at this point?
At this point, there's nothing to prepare. We are looking for advocates who not only argue the letter of the law, but know when to bend it and when to let it break.
I see. I guess, is there something that I could roll that would allow me to kind of know exactly what they're asking me to do here? Are they asking me to break the law, right? Or
no, you could. I mean, you could roll. You could roll insight. You could roll to kind of get a better read on the people in front of you. You could roll perception to kind of get a better feel of what's going on. What'd you roll?
We'll do an insight. That was only
Insight.
an 8. Not
Uh,
great insight. I'm not
not
very
not.
insightful today.
Let me see here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me pull insight check here. Yeah, hit me a little faster than I was expecting
Sorry.
there.
Quick on the click.
The only insight. I mean, you get that there that Miss the aha. The person in front of you takes a more personal tone when they say the name Tern that speaks of the Tern family when they say their name, um, as if they are familiar with the Tern family.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, internal monologue. I mean, this is my first real job. Like, of course, right? Like this is what high-powered lawyers do all the time, right? Like this is the dream. Yeah, they're gonna ask you to do stuff, and you're gonna be the super lawyer. Yeah, okay, let's do this.
You also get that their politeness feels measured rather than natural, as if each word is chosen with care.
Understandable. I am happy to provide the services of Rock and Winters to the noble house of Skye, and look forward to meeting you and everyone else that will be assisting in this endeavor.
Mm. You just see a nod from the large man behind them. Go ahead, give a perception roll.
Sure. 18. That is significantly better. A little more.
Yeah. So the large man behind the person in front of you. There's a couple things that you notice. You notice that their jaw is mechanical and their arms are oversized compared to a normal man. You also notice that their prosthetics are unusually clean and muted. They're not brass or iron, which is common in the city. So they don't seem to have a lot of turnstone in them. You do also catch faint markings etched into the metal. They look like military symbols, though not immediately identifiable. You might be able to maybe roll a history check to know a little bit more of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one more thing is you do notice that every detail of the man's clothing is immaculate, down to pressed trousers and polished shoes, suggesting a near obsessive discipline.
History? Well, 19 on my history.
All right. So,
doing my studies.
Yeah, you notice that the insignia is Vesponian military in origin. They suggest that they served in the Navy of Vesipon. You recall rumors of a man dishonorably discharged under mysterious circumstances that match this person. And then you also know that the prosthetics he wears are far beyond the reach of standard military replacements, indicating either he has very rich patronage or illicit funding.
I see. Well,
and then one more thing. What was your perception? It was 18. You also notice that there is a large raven nearby, which isn't out of place within the city. But this raven is very big for its size. It also has what looks to be a cataract clouded eye, and that gives it a strange look. Its gaze feels oddly fixed, sharper than most birds. And you get you kind of notice like there's a ripple of faint static crackling around it, like heat off stones.
That is indeed strange.
You could roll animal handling to know a little bit more.
I actually am a bit skilled at animal handling. Oh, but not today.
Not today. Well, this raven is unusually still for its species. And it seems to ignore typical coaxing or food, like which most ravens would be craving at this point, especially in a cafe with pastries and the such and nibbles all over the place.
Okay. So definitely something more going on here than necessarily just the appointment, but they're coming to me, so I feel like I'm the man for the job.
Mm. Do you have nature? You don't have nature, do you?
I do not.
You could. You could roll
I
nature still.
could try it.
Yeah, why
That's a 5. Ooh.
not?
Not
Yeah,
so
no,
much on nature.
no, not so much on there. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, you rolled insight earlier. That wasn't so good. No, no, you got all the info from that. All right, then, excellent. Then, if the person in front of me stands with a parasol, then we will see you at week's end, or not. This offer will only last so long.
I'm sorry. Did you say your name?
Oh, Miss Dreadmire.
Miss Dreadmire. A pleasure. Thank you
Pleasure's
for trusting
mine.
me.
Of course. The Tern name carries a lot of weight with me.
Well, I hope to reinforce that.
Hans goes, yes, I hope so too.
Well, if there is anything else that I can assist with in the meantime, please reach out to Rock and Winters, partners at law, and I will be at your beck and call as you need me.
She said, we will reach out to the advocates if needed, but we plan to see you later on this week. Apologies, we have other meetings to go to.
Oh, I completely understand, and thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
And then they hand you a black card embossed with the gold symbol from House Skye with the address and the time for the meeting that they expect you to attend.
Thank you. I'll stand up and give a slightly awkward bow, salute thing, and turn around and walk away.
On as you do the salute thing or whatever, the raven makes the noise, and then as you walk away, you see it swoop down onto the large man's shoulder.
That is a very large man.
Okay. Surprisingly, even next to the large man, the bird is quite large actually as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go back to hopefully my car is still there waiting for me.
How'd it go, sir? He goes and opens the door for you. So.
I think well. I think I have my first real job. So,
congratulations, Mr. Tern.
Let's go celebrate. Maybe a cocktail. I think that's what us professional lawyers do when we score a big deal is we go have a cocktail.
I believe that is true, sir. It's still working hours though, yes?
Oh. Maybe just one.
All right. Well, where would you like to go, sir?
The Pendulum Club?
Not too far away, so excellent choice. Drives you over to the Pendulum Club.
All right.
And there we fade out for now. And do you decide to head later on that week to the meeting at the?
Absolutely. I think some fresh pressed outfits would be in order here. Some nice little bit of thread upgrade perhaps. Make sure I'm looking as spiffy as possible between now and then, if there's time.
There is time. I mean, it's yeah. It was a Tuesday, yeah. So you have till the end of the week, which is the time and place. So able to spiffy up your clothing before then. Now the Skye Estate, just so you're aware, let me pull up somehow where'd all the things go? How strange is that?
The location layer
is moved. Oh, I'm probably doing that. I am probably the one. Oh no, I'm definitely the one doing that, and I should not be doing it. I have messed up.
No.
Hold on. I can fix this, sort of. Steven will never know. It's just like a. Yeah, I believe that's right. All right. And now I can. Here, I'll go back to this one. There we go. So, if I do this correctly, he was teasing me because I was like, "Why would you? How could you mess that up? This is the way you can mess it up." Anyway, so this is the pendulum comes down here. I think it's more like there. Okay. And then you work in Midtown, but the okay, if I do that, it makes sense. All the way up here in Silverwood, where the rich people live, is Skye Estate. But Skye Estate is about like 30 plus minutes outside the main city itself. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, but it's what you know, because again, you're member of the Society of Ravens, is that the Skye Estate used to be one of the preeminent estates. It's still, I mean, as far as they still have the same land that they had before. It's just run down and hasn't been upkept for quite some time. Even when the former head of the family was still in charge, over the years, she kind of just let it fall apart around her. Again, being part of the Society of Ravens, you could give me a history roll.
Close my character sheet.
You don't have to close it. Oh, you closed it. I was like, you don't have to close it. Oh no, what's that? That's a horrible number.
That's a horrible number.
How'd you even do that?
I apparently rolled a 1.
You did roll a 1. Wow.
Natural 1.
Well, you have no idea what really went on with that family.
No idea.
Yeah.
Oof, Skye.
So you think they're all alive? Yeah. But anyway, going into this, you know nothing about the Skye family other than what Mr. Edmeyer told you about them. Yeah, which wasn't much. So
that's amazing. Yeah.
Now the good news is the card does say the name Eston Skye, so that's at least something more to go off of. And even with the 5, you at least have the base knowledge that it's not been a very lucky. It used to be a prominent family within the city. It's not been very lucky as of late. The former head of the family, all of her husband and her children all died of strange circumstances over the years. In the last 10 years, she's kind of been alone. And then she recently passed. So you are aware of that.
I see.
Yeah. But we'll leave you being dropped off outside of the Skye Estate, about to enter the evenings, and then we'll fade there as other cars and people start to approach it around the same time.
Excellent.
And we'll pick up on October 8th, October 7th, 8th my time, October 7th, 9 p.m. Eastern time, or if you're me, October 8th at 3 a.m. So that'll be when the first live session will come about with everybody and play. So looking forward to it. Before we end, is there anything you'd like to say, or?
No, I'm super excited. So thank you for including me, and hopefully we can investigate some mysteries of a Shadow City variety.
Sounds like a good time. I'm excited as well. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Matthew, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Or for some people that are watching it, they've already seen you. Who knows? That's the great thing about recorded stuff. You never know when people are watching it, right? All right. So, all right.
Thank you.
Ciao.